So the main reason I came to watch Conjuring Last Rites is because I needed to shit me up. Pick me up, shit me up today. You know, I fancied a few jump scares. You know, real horror, you know, nail-biting terror and sort of evil characters running around scaring the shit out of me. Absolutely none of it. God, Jesus, honestly. So, I mean, I've seen most of the previous Conjuring films. To be honest, it's like the Marvel universe, isn't it? It's all just a bit of a mess. There's like one major theme or set of characters running through, like split into various films that branch off then into various families and sub-characters and plots. The Conjuring universe, it just reminds me of Marvel. It just gets, so sort of meandery that it basically just gets lost in itself. So from the beginning, and my God, the beginning, I have to point out, so it's probably completely irrelevant, but there's so Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson are obviously the two lead protagonists in this film. At the beginning, it throws you back to like the 1960s, to the younger versions of themselves. And the couple that play them, my God, big up to the guy who plays a young Patrick Wilson. He looks exactly like him, and I love that in a movie. And again, this is irrelevant because I'm, but it's probably the best part of Conjuring Last Rites. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of one of the Insidious films. It was amazing. I think it was the second Insidious film where the actress who played a young Lynn Shay, it was brilliant. Not only was she like the spitting image of a young version of Lynn Shay, but she even had the voice. And I think, or actually I still don't know if they used Lynn Shay's voice and morphed it onto the girl, sort of audio-wise, or if it was actually the actress's voice. But yeah, that girl in Insidious, she was brilliant. This guy in The Conjuring, amazing. He's got the face and the hair. It's excellent. It's really good. So yeah, the movie starts by taking you back to the 1960s, where it all begins basically, and where the Lorraine Warren births their first child, their only child, Judy. So there's a bit of creepiness there. But do you know what I found with The Conjuring Last Rites? There was so much it was kind of like bouncing between. So as well as Ed and Lorraine, you've got this family who are experiencing a paranormal entity in their home, which, side note, contains the biggest lack of jump scares I've ever seen or not seen in a horror film. Oh, it's so disappointing. So, the concept surrounding the family of them, they bring a mirror into the house, sold to them at an old antique shop. I love anything to do with that. Another side note, and bouncing back to another film, so as well as Insidious, I had echoes of Oculus here. Karen Gillan, most of you know as Amy Pond from Doctor Who. 2013-14, she was in Oculus about a mirror that caused accidents and eerie, like sinister happenings and even death. That was great. If you can get to watch Oculus, watch it. So the family bring a mirror into the house that then kicks off the spiritual activity. So yeah, but it bounces too much, and it's really long as well. How this was produced was really boring at points. I was if you'd looked at me, if you'd seen me in there, you would have just seen a lot of when you're just visually tedious and really, really bored. Unfortunately, yeah, I was that throughout this film. Ed and Lorraine, you go back to them where Judy's grown up now, and her boyfriend, played by Ben Hardy from EastEnders, for God's sake, Ben Hardy, who is actually really, really good. So it's he's brought in as Judy's boyfriend, and there's this whole thing of the engagement, and the really long scene at the party at their house where the engagement ring comes out, and he asks for permission from Ed and Lorraine. really, really, really long. I really didn't enjoy that at all. Kind of like some of my reactions, probably. But yeah, it was a case that it was really unnecessarily draggy and lengthy. I don't know what they were trying to achieve by that. So you've got that. Then it bounces back to the family in the house. Okay, so yeah, there they are. You know, they focus on them again. I forgot about them. Go back to the family, and one of the daughters suddenly vomits a load of glass. Excellent. Well, not excellent, obviously. Very, very dangerous. Should probably go to a walk-in clinic. But yeah, you go back to the family. There's real sinister happenings kicking off. Great. Then it cuts away again, back to Ed and Lorraine, who's, you know, Judy's, you know, trying on a wedding dress in a bridal shop, and it's really disjointed and it wasn't sewn together with enough intrigue or sort of tensity, dynamics to keep me like on the edge of my seat, keep me going, keep me enthralled. I didn't get that at all here. So yeah, it's really draggy. In fact, I don't think the first jump scare, I think there are two in the whole film, happens until probably 55 minutes in. I remember sitting there and I was like, wow, it's taken that long to get someone to scare the shit out of me. So you've got the opening that's all right. It's an introduction to the family, who they are, and Judy. But then it's just tedious and draggy. So let me get another negative out. I'll try and get some more positives. Unnecessarily drawn out. The lacking in jump scares. The actors who pop up and play the spirits, you know, the Insidious and Conjuring type, you know, they've always got huge, like bigger than Joker smiles, you know, bags, black eyes, red makeup, smeared lipstick, that kind of thing. Every time they had an impact, but every time they popped up on screen, they just looked like clowns. They were just spattered in makeup and just like, and then gone. You know, it's that kind of film where like the face pops up, they smile, the person's like, oh, fuck, turns the light on and they're gone. That kind of, they're very sporadic, barely get any screen time, and they just look like they've walked out of a fucking like the circus show. Basically, it's not. There was barely any. I wanted more jump scares. This was ridiculous. So it's tedious. It's very dull. And there's barely any scares, and the actors, bless them, didn't get hardly any screen time. So another bit. In films like this, there's always that bit, you know, where there's specifically the mum, the family who's the victim of the presence in their house. The mum at one point stands doing a news interview, and she's like, "There are 8 people in this house. Do you think 8 people are crazy?" So she actually stipulates 8 people. There's a scene where Lorraine's daughter goes upstairs, because incredibly she doesn't realise that Lorraine's actually outside with Ed having a fag on the doorstep or something. She goes, and like Lorraine's like calling her from the attic. It's the spirit, obviously. Judy goes upstairs, and all of a sudden it's as if 7, well actually no, there'd be more than that, wouldn't there? Like it's 10 people or whatever have just vanished. so she goes upstairs and she's walking down the hallway like, hello, and do you know what I mean? It's just silence. So everybody is downstairs in the lounge, in the kitchen, making dinner, you know, cup of tea, whatever, like waiting for stuff to kick off, to document it and that. But she's shrouded in darkness and complete silence. Everybody, I mean, unless she's been like dunked in some sort of manic fever dream, fine, or she's hallucinating. There is a house, though, full of people there. Where are they all of a sudden? Where? So that bit's a bit odd. Where she goes up to the attic, and then she encounters the spirits and things upstairs. It's just. But again, there's no there's nothing to it. There's no evil substance here. There's not enough there's not enough terror or gripping, like sort of nail biting horror. There's just none. Right, so I think that they're the main things I found incredibly tedious. So let me just So if I just emphasise the positives, because I'm really trying with this one. So the positives are, obviously the Ben Hardy from EastEnders. He's really sporadic. He's not in many features, but he's a absolutely brilliant actor. Second he turns up, he plays the sort of bumbling boyfriend of Judy, and he's excellent. Like his accent, his mannerisms, he's a purebred American. He's just brilliant. So yeah, he was great. They bring back also some actors from the previous Conjuring films, I realised, at the end. They turn up during a wedding scene. That was good. I've run out of positives. That's it, I'm afraid, guys. Well, honestly, this was so it's so bad. I mean, at the end, you do get a sort of you get sort of real life photographs of Ed and Lorraine. So there is that bit. That was a nice touch. In fact, that was probably the best part of the film when it finished. Because they bring up on screen the photographs of Ed and Lorraine and them doing TV spots, answering questions and things. You've got to get their still shots. Nice touch. I liked that. And I mean, let's face it, that's the most engaging, intriguing part of all this is the actual couple, Ed and Lorraine Warren. Not this film that basically takes their story and then takes the piss out of it with no jump scares. Yeah, oh God, so yeah, Ben Hardy and the end. Patrick Wilson's younger version. It was, honestly, what a tedious shit show. Again, the whole... Annabelle turns up as well, in case you're a fan of Annabelle. But... yeah, the previous film, I love all these really sinister horror films when they're a horror film. When they're not, and they lack the shit me up factor, that's when I take umbrage, and I really, I don't enjoy it. So, is that it? Have you had enough? I have. Fucking hell. Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, they're great. They are great, I have to say, from a non-biased, sort of completely neutral point of view. They carry the film. I mean, the parts, Ed and Lorraine, they were just written for them. They were meant to play them. But yeah, the whole real, not. I mean, most of the film was sort of not very feasible, but not feasible. But it's a full house. A full house of people, and someone's in a different part of the house, encountering a supernatural sort of presence. No one else is around. It's similar to in a movie where, they could have done it in this film actually, where just open the front door, get the neighbours involved. I mean, there's a scene where the press turn up outside wanting interviews and stuff. Bring the press in. Bring the neighbours in. Don't just isolate the family. Get everyone in, a fucking house party. Crank up the Girls Aloud, get the fucking snacks out, and watch the popcorn fly about. It's these sorts of films, they're very... I mean, I get that they're based on an isolating fact. It's a horrific story. But the fact that this was directed by James Wan, who usually really cranks it up in the Insidious and Blumhouse films. I was incredibly disappointed with this. Yeah, truly. In fact, there was some... I think they've gone. There were a couple of girls just down the row sitting near me. And, when people throughout trailers, people in the screen are talking so loud, they just can't shut up. They've come to sit in a dark room and have a film played at them, but they're just chat. Wait until afterwards. Anyway, bugbear. They were just chat through the trailers, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, they're going to do this throughout the film. Brutally honest, crank it up, girls. Bring it on. Just whatever. It was one of those where I wouldn't have minded them just chatting throughout. So, The Conjuring is it's a low-calorie real diluted version of the films that have come before. It contains like the same characters, backgrounds, and the same sort of the whole element. It's all there. Again, it's like Marvels, even though they come from each film like is like standalone, containing different characters and plots and subplots and God knows what else, and tediously jumps between things. It's it's all captured in that universe, but. Again, what a way to go. If this was the final film, there was nothing scary about it at all. Oh, God. Honestly, I've been more shitted up during an episode of SpongeBob, I think. So, I think why I love these movies so much is the whole, being shitted up, when it makes you shiver, like shiver down your spine, adrenaline spike, and it scares you. Absolutely, none of that. And again, I think most of that was stamped out by the fact that the story just kept jumping to like Judy in the bridal shop, and then the family hearing a noise upstairs. Then it jumps back to Ed and Lorraine's house. Then it jumps back to the family. It was just oh God. No way. I've always loved Ed and Lorraine's, the basement room where they keep all the haunted objects and things. I love that. And a real sort of echo, bit of a nod to Erie, Indiana. Erie, Indiana. Years ago, I guarantee those of you watching this clip will be like, what the fuck is Erie, Indiana? It was I think it was... Oh, what's his name? Omri Katz, the guy from who headed up Hocus Pocus. It was about this guy who had like really strange, sinister things happening in his hometown, and he would take an object from each like crime scene and stick it in a cupboard, and then write in his diary at the end of the episode. I loved Erie, Indiana, and that's it reminds me a lot of that. So not just spooky goings on, but collecting an object and putting it on a shelf and things. Yeah, I like that. Oh, found it. There we go. There's another positive. So, The Conjuring Last Rites. Make it your last watch of these films, of any of this sort of universe, because it's just tedious shite. Hang on a sec. The bridal bit. That was it. Judy in the bridal shop. How many mirrors can you get in one dressing room? It's like she walks into a fucking funhouse. She's stood... Naturally, Lorraine buggers off to do absolutely nothing. So she leaves her in there. All of a sudden, there's just like a house of mirrors everywhere. She then has a supernatural encounter, obviously. She's screaming and screaming. No one comes to her aid, obviously. And then they do, like, later... Oh, fucking hell. Oh, what a load of tedious shit. This wasn't great. Not great at all. But hey, next week is Downton Abbey. Do I want to watch Downton Abbey? No, but I will. Just to lead out, I paid a £5 to watch The Conjuring Last Rites in IMAX. Please don't bother. If you're thinking of seeing it in IMAX, it wasn't one of those like filmed for IMAX movies. The screen in IMAX is massive, but it was still the same sort of grainy consistency on the screen. Do you know what I mean? That you get in a standard film. So yeah, I mean it's kind of luxurious, I suppose, in an IMAX film. They've got nice lights on the walls and chairs, and the screen's massive. But yeah, it was a standard film. I do genuinely begrudge paying £5 singular, even though I've got the unlimited card, Cineworld Unlimited card, where it's £20 a month. And let's face it, a cinema ticket is about £14 nowadays. And the amount of like films I come and watch, I've more than made my money back. So a £5 is nothing, absolutely nothing. But I do genuinely feel fucking cheated out of £5. Seriously.